Do you believe that God has given us all a purpose? Like, maybe you believe that God's given purpose to other people's lives, but not your own. Well, I think that sometimes we gotta get our mind right. We gotta get the truth in our mind, that God has given each of us purpose. Whenever we come to know God, God's got a purpose for us. And whenever we get saved and whenever He gets involved in our life, He gives us purpose. He has a plan that is for our good and not for evil, but to prosper us, for our future, for the good. We make our plans, but He establishes the steps. And if we really believe what the Bible says a whole lot of good things that God's got in store for us. Sometimes we just got to get our mind and our heart lined up with the truth. And we got to change our mind so our heart will change the direction that it's going. Especially if your heart's in a chaos and in a storm. And maybe it's going in circles. You're not even really sure if you're coming or going or what you're doing. So we got to get anchored in the Word. So today, even though, some of us didn't feel like getting out of bed, so whether that's depression or I'm tired or some kind of physical ailment, whatever it is, today we got to find the strength inside of us to stand back up, get out of that bed, and start walking out our God-given purpose. Maybe we don't know what that purpose is. Maybe we need to go on a journey with God, whether that is a long walk or a trip to the store, or we all know that there is some kind of different place that God will lead you. He draws your heart, and a lot of times when God is drawing our heart, it is to broken places, in the streets, in the prisons, in the hospitals, wherever it is. God has put something in our heart as workers. We each have a calling. We each have a gift. We've got things inside of us that God's just waiting to draw out if we would just answer the call. It reminds me that I was just telling someone else this yesterday, that God, I have this friend. Okay, let's back up a little bit. I have this friend, and my friend was an evangelist. He would go through town, and he felt the need to pray for everyone as he drove through town. And he began to feel really depressed. He began to feel isolated and talk about how alone he is. And I said, brother, next time you drive through town and you start feeling that draw to pray for somebody, get out your car. Get out your car and go talk to somebody. Go pray for somebody in person. And you know what? He didn't. And he fell away. And sometimes God's calling us to step out. He's calling us to go do something a little bit differently than we have been doing it. And guess what? It's going to take strength of God to do something new. It's kind of like walking out there on that water, not knowing where you're going, not knowing what's beneath the surface there. You can't really see it. You haven't ever done it before. So you're going to have to hold on to Jesus. I love you. And I hope that today you go find your God-given purpose, even today.